Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
He's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on America's soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby. This is my show. How you doing, folks? Appreciate it. Did anybody hear that? This is Groundhog Day. I'm doing this again. I already did all of this. How you doing, folks? What's up, Rumble? D Live? You already know what's up. You already know what we're talking about. You already know what's up. But hello, YouTube. Strange things, it's a bad look. I apologize. But I must have been something stupid I did or something. I clicked stream on everything. It said everything was streaming. It said we were streaming live on YouTube, only to find out I wasn't. So apologies, we're live now. American Anchor Baby here. And what, man, I like introed. I was already talking about something here, but I mentioned that basically that we're talking about a bunch of things today. You could call in 888-775-3773. I got Pharisees on the mind. What did Jesus say about Pharisees? I'm on Twitter, and my Twitter's all Nazified. Someone's got to rein in Elon Musk. I hear it in the media. I hear it talking about it in the media. Now I understand why they're saying this. Elon Musk got his hands on Twitter. Now it's full of Nazis. I'm all over Twitter. Now I got a video to show all of you. It's a mess, but I'm messing around too. It's funny, but yeah, this was what was interesting a little bit. Pharisees. They got this guy, Texas man, yelling, "I can't breathe," killed in police custody. Will it happen all over again? Interesting stuff about that. This is actually kind of old news, but the body cam came out. And so now all these people who are emotionally charged on a case that was pretty much dealt with, they see video and it's rehashed the whole thing over again. We need to bring down America. They're racist. They're killing black men out here. Mass shootings. Gavin Newsom starting a controversy here with his opinion on something a GOP Republican representative said about, a lawmaker said about mass shootings. We'll get into it here, hopefully. And maybe even some ethnic cleansing and genocide. Not something we want to do, but maybe talk about it a little bit. Folks, we're going to get into it. Look, 888-775-3773. Appreciate you being with me. Pretty sure you heard none of that, right? So this is fresh for all of you here on YouTube. Great stuff. Earlier I mentioned something I saw in my chat. I had started the show already. I had mentioned it. I had dealt with it, and probably all of you have no idea. Why was that person's message in the chat deleted? I'm just sorry. You were throwing out hard R G words in the chat. You know who you are. Hard R G words in the chat with nary a G word pass in sight. I'd say we judiciously cleansed your ethnic bigotry. You know who you are in the chat. Anyways, look, We're here. We're live. 888-775-3773. Let's see. How do we start this off? You know, I got message deleted by Lord. What's going on here? Wait, hold up. Because people are super chatty. Something happened here. Something happened I missed. Appreciate the super chats. It looks like it may have been deleted, though. Matthew. Not sure what's going on with this message deleted business. But it looks like when the message is deleted, it's also gone from my... Thank you, sir. It's gone from my list of super chats, so I didn't want to miss that, Matthew. Right on. Appreciate that. What's the G word with the hard R? Says Albert. What's the G word with the hard R? Asks Albert. If you don't have a G word pass, you know, you can inform him, but if you don't have a G word pass, I say take the G word light pass, okay? You know, maybe 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔. Help him out. No, I don't think I got cheated, Chris. I don't think that's what happened. I hope that's not what happened. I'm pretty sure that's not what happened. Thank you for the super chat, Matthew. And I see your calls coming in, 888-775-3773. A little bit of patience, we'll get right to you. So here's a video that's got people going. It's got the people going. It's got almost 1 million views on this. It's got the people going. 4 million actually, 4 million views on this, and on the quote tweet, almost 1 million. Some of the stuff Jesus said about Pharisees seems kind of generic until you realize what Jews are like, says this one person on Twitter. Oh, hold up. Boom. And they share this video here with another caption, with a comment here. It says, I'm convinced that Jews are just atheists with funny accents. These people literally treat God like a hall monitor. Some of you may have seen this. Okay, it's an ad for a product. Let's get into it a little bit here. Here's a lamp. It looks like a lamp. What is it? Let's go. We're getting enriched. We are learning things. Hold on. Let's go. Oh, wait, I think I got to unmute it over here. What a mess. Bada bing. Bada boom. Let's play this beautiful footage.
Orthodox Jews are not allowed to use electricity on Shabbos. This means that we cannot turn on and off lights, but we can benefit if the light is already on. Kosher Innovations created this Shabbos lamp. Let me show you how it works. The light is already on. All you have to do is turn it to access the light. This is permissible to use on Shabbos because the light always remains on. I'm just turning the cover to access the light or not. And Kosher Innovations recently launched their new Shabbos lamp. It's called the Kosher Lamp 360. Let me show you how it works.
This needs music. They need music. That's the only thing. You need a little music. I'm just giving you a little helpful criticism. It's just a suggestion.
Named it 360 because unlike this Shabbos lamp that only gives off light in one direction, this new lamp gives off light in any direction. This is their highest setting. They also have a medium and low setting. And to make sure that the lamp doesn't slide around on your countertop, there's a little tab that you pull off and it sticks and stays in place. I love the sleek, compact look, which also makes it great for traveling.
Nice.
Check out Kosher Innovations to order yours today.
Well, right on. And so that's the video kind of going around, 4 million views. Some of the stuff Jesus said about Pharisees seems kind of generic until you realize what Jews are like. I was just reading that and I'm just thinking about it. What did he say about Pharisees? Number one, that's a good question. What did Jesus say about Pharisees? But number two, generic. It seems kind of generic. What he was saying about Pharisees, it's like, I just don't even get it. It's all generic. Until I saw this video. And I realized how the Jews are. Okay, hold on. We're going to get into this here. Give me a second. I seem to have lost something here. We got Jesus condemns the Pharisees. Matthew 23. What did he say about the Pharisees? Because there's a couple of things about this that I just found somewhat interesting. The people commenting. People here are they got their things to say. There's some people in the comments that just to play a little devil's avocado here. They're saying that that's just some. So I really don't know how common this is, but I've heard some stuff about the tradition, the religion. And I know there's differences, right? There's Orthodox and stuff like that, but I've heard of things like on the Sabbath, you can't work. That was even something that Jesus confronted in the Bible, no? That he was teaching or healing on the Sabbath. So, anyways, the Sabbath, I've heard that you can't turn off lights. So that's part of that whole tradition, right? And there's some that keep to the tradition. We can at least gather that much, right? Okay. Matthew 23. So, he's this is the one that comes up when people ask about what did Jesus say about the Pharisees. And in here, in Matthew, he's talking to a crowd and to his disciples and about the law that the Pharisees talk about and how you should obey it. They say that they talk about this law is fine, you should obey it, but don't do what the Pharisees do. They say one thing, do another, right? I think someone even said it recently, maybe on James' show, that he rebuked them for making the whole. They were the religious leaders of the time, scribes and Pharisees. Jesus criticized them for making it like a club, a social club, and he told people, "Don't be called teacher. You only have one teacher. Don't call anyone on earth your father. All of you have the same Father in heaven. None of you should be called the leader. The Messiah is the only leader. Whoever is the greatest should be the servant of the others." So, you may be somewhat familiar with this part of the Bible. And constantly, Jesus is talking about the outside and the inside. Washing the outside isn't enough. That means nothing. There's accountability for even the thoughts that are in your head, what's in your heart. He's constantly saying that. And this is and he doesn't discriminate either. You know what I mean? Like, this is for all people. Pharisees is such a good example of it. Okay. He says the Pharisees and teachers are show-offs. You're in for trouble. You wash the outside of your cups and dishes. You get it. You get it. So where was I? Allow me to get into this here. I appreciate the super chat, CSAL. Forgive your mother and mod father. Ecclesiastes 2:12. That might be a different translation. That might be a modern translation, but. So where were we? Pharisees. They're mad. This person here, I don't know if this person's mad. But I'm wondering about what's generic about that, right? Well, you think what Jesus said about the Pharisees is kind of generic until you see this video. And I think he's quite clear in this on the emptiness and the being false, being phony, false love, this pretending. He would tell it that's not the only time he talked about Pharisees or criticized them. He was with his disciples and they were eating and they didn't wash their hands in some traditional way. And they asked Jesus, "What your people? These are your people, man." And they're all unclean eating. And he tells them it's not what goes in you that defiles you. He was just so he's just constantly saying that, pointing us to the inner. And it's like it reminds me of why I turned away from Christianity growing up. My family, and really just like anybody else, I think, grew up in a tradition. They grew up in a tradition that they thought was good. They believed things about it, felt guilt about it, but whatever you say, were subject to it in some way, shape, or form. I'm sure many relate. Culture, tradition. These things are strong ideas that have a hold on people. Okay, so, and I remember this kind of hypocrisy. Professing God and Jesus, but they had in them what anybody else did. I didn't see any difference between the Christians around me and the world they talked about, okay? And these were Christians. These were people who called themselves Christians, born again. That's what they called themselves. So you see, the Pharisee part is the judgment. The part of the Pharisee, is there a word like that? Pharisaical? What is it? There's a word like that, no? Pharisaical, meaning excessively or hypocritically pious. Is the people who judge, right? You get it. Come on, folks, you get it. He's so clear about this. Jesus is so clear about this. Love your enemy. You get it, folks, right? It's so generic. I wouldn't call it generic, man. Yeah. Tradition is not God. All people, notice that? You notice, like, yeah, look, do your thing. Look at these Pharisaical Jews, man. Hey, whatever. Do your thing, but you show me a video like this and it's like, okay, fine, I wouldn't even be able to disagree with you, but what are you learning? What are you learning? Maybe I'm being the little nitpicker. Maybe I'm being the little nitpicker today right now. Hey, okay, funny video, but come on. Jesus was saying, you got to love your enemy. It's of the heart. So you go around. I see the Pharisee spirit. I'm just trying to point this out. That I just see the Pharisee spirit in everybody. In all the groups, and the Catholics, in the Jews, in the Christians, I see it everywhere. And maybe I'm on my little thing right now calling it out, but I think it's true. You could call in if you disagree, 888-775-3773. I got maybe some more examples for you as we move along. 888, did I just say the number? 888-775-3773. How about we do a call? And then I can continue here. Aman, very cool, out of India. How you doing, sir? On the air. Oh, wait, hold on. You're on the air, but no one can hear you, and that is my fault. Aman, now you're on the air.
Okay, can you hear me?
Boom, we did it. Yes, we can hear you, Aman, thanks.
Okay. So I wanted to add a quick comment on both you and Hick. Like, I've seen like videos of old you and the Hick, and you used to be so scared and nervous, and you would be sweating a lot, and it's like, and with Hick too, like, he would be like, when he speaks, like, he would be so nervous and scared and shy, and I just see it, and now I'm like so amazed that both of you have grown so much. It is so amazing to see that.
Let's go.
And I was like, it's like seeing a scared and shy boy turning into a wise man, like being abnormal to being normal. And I was so like, I'm so amazed by that. And there is no I in me for now. And it's a very joyful thing.
Awesome.
And
Thank you, man. That's such a funny thing that you just... Yeah, man, thank you for the comment. That's such a funny way you describe it, too, because I wouldn't even have seen it myself back then. I wouldn't have called myself that. I wouldn't have called myself nervous. I would have said anything else. I would have said something like, I don't know, I just was unaware. I was just unconscious, right? Because I heard that. But... I'm just remarking on what you're saying. It's interesting because I wouldn't even call it that back then. And yet... it is that, but it is not that because it wasn't me. It was just me truly being unaware coming into the studio. It's like, just calm down.
Yeah, and that is so nice to like not like speaking for yourself like that. Oh, I'm nervous. Don't like. It's a blessing to say I'm not nervous or not even notice that. Then you can pretty much focus on yourself.
You know, I gotta say though, I'm still sweating. God has not saved me. God has not saved me or from that quite yet.
But seeing it from like outside, like from my perspective, you have and Hake, and you both of you have grown so much in so little time. And I just wanted to say, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Hey, right on, man.
It is truly like I don't want to say I am joyful because there is no I in me, for now at least, but it's a very joyful thing.
That's cool what you said. I appreciate it because it felt like that, man. It's felt like I've just like, not even, and trust me, I've been trying to hide. But you just seen me be, I don't know, make mistakes or whatever on this show. And it's been like a growing experience, really. I tripping about my show. What the heck? Why am I doing it? What am I going to talk about? And that whole thing has been a growing experience. I don't know how to say it, but maybe it seems like some of you have even seen it on display. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we have.
That's funny, man. Appreciate that.
So, yeah. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
That's time to get on that shirt right away. We need to make a shirt like that right now. I'm on. Appreciate that. Anything else you want to say? Right on.
No. I that's all I had to say.
Call me again, sir.
Okay. You take care.
Okay, we got 888-775-3773. Are you watching the same show, bro? I stay sweating. You sure you're here with us, man? Nah, I'm messing around with you. Let's keep it going. John, Texas, you're on the... Oh, we just lost him. Not sure what happened there. Did I hang up? Wait. No, I definitely did not hang up. I pressed the correct button. John, call me back if you'd like. I'm sure we can get into it here. But look, where was I? Pharisees. The inner versus the outer. False love. Kenneth Knotts. You guys got to maybe have heard about this. Texas man yelled, "I can't breathe," before being killed in police custody, body cam video shows. And you read this New York Post article. And if you weren't a person that was a little bit aware, you're aware the media likes to pull on heartstrings, you know that even though you may have an impression of New York Post, they're a little right-leaning, right? You know that these media companies are full of people and agendas. Look, if you weren't aware, you would read this thinking this happened like the other day. Because maybe you read fast or something. Kenneth Knotts. He died actually in 2022 in police custody. But at the time, the video wasn't released. The disturbing incident, which was ruled a homicide, came after Kenneth Knotts, 41, had been taken by police for a mental health evaluation at UT Southwestern Medical Center following a traffic stop November 29th, 2022. Startling video released is what's got people going. Really showing the robotic nature, the input-output nature of the public. You could just predictably mess with them. This could be this is a story from 2022. A grand jury went to a grand jury. They already didn't want to bring charges against the officers. A lot has already happened. But throw out the video, and now everybody's like, justice for Kenneth. No thought. No space for that, okay? The disturbing incident ruled as a homicide. So he was in mental distress, they say. And I think I could show a little bit of this news report here, is what I could do. Because just like so many of these stories, it's not just this black guy being picked out in the street and just killed. Not at all. Not at all. He was acting quite strange, according to the police and all that. And in the video, you see him very combated. The footage obtained by the attorneys for the family through a third-party subpoena The hospital declined to release the footage or identify the cops initially. The medical examiner reportedly ruled that the cops were responsible for Knott's death. That's one piece of information that kind of has kept this alive. It's this medical examiner who said Kenneth Knott died as a result of what these cops did by restraining him in a semi-prone position. But what's strange to me, and I'm just a layman reading things, right? Maybe someone can correct me, is this medical examiner's report says that he dies of sudden cardiac arrest. So he dies of sudden cardiac arrest, but it's because they're being restrained. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. Maybe someone can explain that to me. I've always found that kind of strange. So that's the story. They got this Kenneth Knott. The video's out. What else about this before I show you some of this report? Because it's like with so many of these stories, they really do get themselves in this situation where they just have to be restrained on, and all this physical exertion and all sorts of stuff happens. Anything can happen when you get into like a altercation like that. You'd be surprised what can happen. You could die from a fall. You just don't know. And it's always like this. Now, I'm not seeing any major protests or anything, so let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I haven't seen anything like protests or major outcry, but only online. Did I mute this? That's really the only place I've seen it.
Children. It's November 29, 2022. The 41-year-old is at the UT Southwestern Medical Center for evaluation.
So he was in mental crisis. He had been taken by the Wilmer Hutchins Police Department to UT Southwestern, and he left the premises at UT Southwestern.
By the time this body camera video captures Knott at the hospital, he's had a flat on the roadway with his girlfriend, jumped on the roof of an SUV with his young son in his arms, and escaped from police at the hospital. He is...
The report there, if I could just jump in and add to the report, I got this from the New York Post, that article I was reading. You know, the police found him and he was on top of the SUV. They may have mentioned this, but so far they failed to mention that he was erratic and saying the cops, they want to kill me. And he was holding this infant that he mentioned that he was holding the infant by one arm, and that they were afraid that he was about to throw the infant. So that's what's kind of going on.
Is now back in custody.
So officers are trained to use what's called a 5-man takedown, and or a group takedown or a group restraint.
Attorney Jeff Henley says each officer should take a limb and hold that person down.
Oh my God.
That's what police told a special investigator from Dallas Police they did. No physical hits, officers say, to make Knott compliant.
You got him?
But Henley says the hands pressing down on his clients and the way he was positioned on the bed became lethal.
He's getting pressure from the bed.
So that's the part that's got also investigators going, is the way he was pressed up against the bed is like the linchpin here, okay? Because the edge of the bed was what was pressing up against him in such a way that caused him to lose consciousness and eventually die. I mean, I really didn't. I'm just showing you this because these stories keep coming up, and you know, they'll ignore the blacks for a while. They got everybody going crazy. 2020, the George Floyd riots, etc. Then again, they'll ignore them. They'll use them. Menthol cigarette stuff will come up, and they'll be like, "Hey, we're on your side." It's really, truly, almost like overt, the way they use black people. But yet, this is always it's always puts on display for me really how nobody really has any love. They really don't care or love about the people they say they do. Look, this is so encouraging to people. If you saw the video and read the article, I mean, in what world would this guy have any reason to act the way he was? Even if he thought the cops were coming up, hey, they were just profiling and all that. Let's say that's, I don't know that, by the way. I'm just speculating. If he thought that, in what world is this a correct way of responding? You're landing yourself in more trouble. And it's stories like these. Well, this is just reporting on the news, but if anybody starts picking this up, if Benjamin Crump comes out tomorrow representing the family or some crap, I mean, let's just take this story right here. The family and their attorney, even the grand jury had already decided they're not going to take charges, they're not going to press charges against the cops. So what the family did here is they got their hands on the video and they released it publicly. And I'm getting this from this very article for this express purpose, to incense the public in the hopes that they could get justice for Kenneth. So the case and all that got handled with, but now they have the video and they're thinking, you know what? We have another card up our sleeves. We do have another move. We can use the dumb public if we just release this video and yell loud enough. So really, the family is doing that right now. We really don't have to wait for the protesters. There's people using the death right now, in my opinion. Because if they had any love, they would say, hey, Kenneth, it's a mess. I don't know, maybe the cops shouldn't have, whatever, but it's a shame he was acting that way and he got himself restrained and it turned into a bad situation. Anyways. We'll see what happens with that. That's what they're saying is, some are saying it's the new George Floyd. I haven't seen quite protests yet, but Pharisees, right? Pharisees. False love. I got John, Texas on the air. Appreciate your call. You're on the air.
Hey, Nick. Going off of what Joel was saying on his show.
Yes.
Hold on, my brain just blanked out. Because that guy, he was anyone can become like a Pharisee. Any Christian can become a Pharisee. Like, it's really easy to do it.
I agree. In what way you think?
Well, if you become like scared of what's going to happen to you after you die, and you avoid like calming down, and you get stressed out. And you start to hyper focus on the negative stuff, and you avoid being still, and you avoid, well, what Joel was talking about was like, parents, they raise their kids and they don't let the kids learn. They don't let the kids.
Right, I remember that. You were just saying something good. You were saying that what makes you a Pharisee is when you worry, right? When you worry about these stuff. Finish that thought.
Yes, I mean, you clean the outside of the cup without cleaning the inside. And like I in a different timeline, I would have totally been like a Pharisee. I mean.
Right on. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. You're making a lot of sense. I think honestly, chat, where's he wrong? He's absolutely correct. He's so right. When you worry, if you worry, you start focusing on the negative. You're a Pharisee. You're an absolute Pharisee. How were you a Pharisee in a different time?
Well, let's
if
say,
you can say,
if we're gonna pinpoint what Pharisee was, like a literal Pharisee is someone that's so scared of what's gonna happen after death, like that they would kill somebody. Like Jesus. That was like the Pharisees literally did that. But like
they were so scared of it that
more like they were so scared of Jesus, and really, they just overreacted.
I don't think you're wrong, man.
And like a normal person's not really like a Pharisee, but they're pharisaical. You know, it's like, you know, that what is that word that you came up with?
I can't even pronounce it. What the heck? Let me Google it real quick. I know it's a word.
That does not sound like a real word.
It's a word. I swear it's a word. Come on, Google. Don't let me down.
Pharisaical. It's crazy sounding.
Pharisaical.
Real, but
Pharisaical. Yeah. Uh-huh. And that came from Merriam-Webster.com. So,
Thank you. Pharisaical.
But it's so pharisaical to be worried about or even, you know what else is pharisaical? To be be all egotistical about what happens after death too. There's people who are so sure they're born again, they're going to heaven. There's people who are so sure they're going to hell. Those people are being pharisaical. I agree, and it makes sense to me, man. Why is that pharisaical?
Well, I haven't had any pharisaical encounters with like of that nature, but more of like the normal, the secular type, where they just don't have the patience to like let kids or like learn from just to plain learn, you know. And, you know, you have to say, you know, be real, you know.
Because to the kids.
In my case, there's someone like was, they were just making promises that, you know, because they didn't want to deal with the issue for some reason, the problem, the situation. So they would make promises that they didn't know could keep it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's like being a Pharisee, you say?
Right. That's like
did you expect them to keep
pharisaical? Not that necessarily Pharisee, because you know, you're not gonna like
right, pharisaical. Did you expect them to keep it?
Self-image. You're worried about your self-image. Did I expect them to keep it?
Or should I say, were you disappointed when they didn't keep that promise?
No, I mean I didn't expect it because I knew because it was so like ridiculous.
Well, right, I understand. It was just incredible.
It was just not in reality, you know. But Nick, man,
I appreciate your call, John.
Awesome,
Anything else you want to say?
Awesome, man.
For sure. Call me again, sir.
God bless America. That's all.
Let's go. 888-775-3773. Pharisaical. Yeah, I just see it as like being phony. Like the outside, you're worried about cleaning the outside, not the inside. Judging others. Thinking you're better. Blaming. Thinking one type of evil is worse than others and giving it a ism. Big time pharisaical. It's a spiritual battle. It's a spiritual battle, Gavin Newsom. Don't you know? It's an absolute spiritual battle. Gavin Newsom on his Twitter posted, the GOP are now blaming mass shootings on abortion. This representative says that the horrific mass shooting at Lewiston was the result of God's wrath after Maine expanded access to abortion. Seriously. And we're going to play that beautiful footage posted here by Gavin Newsom. Chadvin Newsom. Come on. Don't deny it. yes, he's using his powers for the dark side, but Gavin Newsom, the Chad of California, off to the dark side, is criticizing Republicans here. Let's watch as the GOP blames this horrific mass shooting on abortion. What could it really be? Let's watch.
When 1619 passed and went into law on October 25th, you told God life doesn't matter. Keep in mind that the law came into effect on October 25th. God heard you. And the horrible events on October 25th happened. Thank you.
Chair recognizes the representative from Biddeford.
So you get it. He's saying October 25th. He's talking about October 25th, 2023. Robert Card carried out a spree shooting in Lewiston, Maine, resulting in the death of 18 individuals. If you don't remember, this was at that just-in-time recreation bowling alley. Okay, Rob, that was the Lewiston shooting. He's saying, you guys don't even care about life. You made that clear when you went with this abortion crap. So now it's a point of order. They're saying, this guy really said what he just said? We need a point of order. Order.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes the representative from Biddeford, Representative Mallon.
What?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm pretty certain that implying that the passage of legislation caused a horrible and horrific evil tragedy is impugning the character of every member of this chamber, and I would request that he stand down.
When 16...
He's impugning. All right, buddy. All right, policy boy. Yeah, wouldn't you like that, policy boy, huh? Four eyes, policy. Okay, we're just bullying him. We're having fun. We're joking around. We're remembering that Manhood Hour intro. But yeah, that's what he said. He said it. He got people going. I can even understand a little bit of that, right? You guys said you don't care about life. You made that clear. You know what I mean? It's like, I get the point he's making, but I just don't know if we got any kind of moral, high ground here to be able to be speaking like this. I don't see Republicans as strong, steadfast, and God-fearing people and all this. To say that it's just these abortion people. It's just these abortion people who are the evil ones. You know, it's like, okay, everything's hunky-dory. We're just people, Americans living in America. And we're not sinners, right? Baby killers, those are sinners. Now, those are sinners, and God is angry at you. When you put it like that, I'm not surprised people turned away from Christianity. When you talk like that, I'm almost, because again, I'm not being ignorant to that point. It's essentially correct, right? These people who are so glib about abortion so commonly they like hate life. They hate life. They hate women. They hate children. They hate themselves. They hate men. Commonly. But that being said, I wouldn't say it's the abortion people who are. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say, right? Blame to go around kind of thing. And also, it's not getting to the root of the issue. This is a misdiagnosis. Tell me, is he saying, now, okay, hold on. Let's back it up. Hold on, my bad. To be fair, he didn't quite exactly say, Gavin Newsom, that the Lewiston shooting is a result of God's wrath. Now you're putting words in his mouth like a woman. He's saying that, he's just saying that life, you guys made it clear, life doesn't matter. Okay? That law came into effect October 25th. God heard you, he says. And then the horrible events of October 25th happened. But let's play devil's avocado here, Gavin Newsom. Let's say he meant it like that. Well, then he'd be right. God's wrath. I would find it hard to believe God is causing mass shootings, causing mass shootings as a punishment to America for letting the little babies die. No, America's, there's plenty of punishment to go around. They're already in hell. You know what I mean? Like, they're already in hell. The punishment is already there. There's the abortion being a thing and being so prevalent is simply a mirror to that. It's not the sin. It's a symptom of the sin. Don't you get that? Don't you see that? Or do you not see that clearly? If you disagree, 888-775-3773. But America's love of abortion is not the sin. That's just incidental. Of course it's going to end up like that when you have evil people. Are you understanding me here? Of course you're going to have what's going on. So yeah, people may be putting words in this person's mouth, yet at the same time, I find if this is the best the Republicans can come up with, I don't know if we're really going to understand the issue. We're going to be just throwing everybody in jail. I think that's what's gonna. That's the eventual march is police state, cameras everywhere, put everybody in jail. It doesn't quite get to it, right? When I hear Jesse, when I hear what he says about the home, it starts at the home. You get it. Anyways, Lewiston shooting. I honestly don't even remember this. October 2023. I don't even remember this. I'm looking at his picture. I can't even remember this one. What a mess. Okay. I think we can move on. 888-775-3773. Remember, all ballers who super chatted yesterday will be ballers tomorrow. Don't miss it tomorrow. You're going to be in the Ballers Lounge. You're going to be in first class. And this is all thanks to our generous benefactor, Lord Spike Protein. Don't miss tomorrow's flight. It's going to be fun. Okay. GOP mass shootings. What else? Anything else I wanted to say about this? Lewiston. You see it, right? Misdiagnosis all around. Oh, I guess I didn't even... I didn't even mention, really, that video and what Gavin Newsom was presenting there. So if you're interested, this is from the Maine Morning Star. Who you saw there was a Republican lawmaker, Michael Lemelin of Chelsea. They're saying he implied that the legislature's enactment of a bill last year to protect access to abortion later in pregnancy caused the October 25th mass shooting by invoking God's wrath. I don't know. The comments drew swift condemnation. Lemelin rose on the... I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I could be wrong there. Lemelin rose on the House floor Wednesday to discuss the bill, a proposal designed to protect Maine health professionals who provide reproductive and gender-affirming care from being targeted. We're just accepting that, right? They call it reproductive care, gender-affirming care. Okay, so they're protecting those forms of care. Apparently, a vehement opponent of the legislation, Lemelin compared the bill to a measure Maine lawmakers passed last year, which expanded access to abortion later in pregnancy. you're seeing some of these battles kind of carry on, right? Who is it? Was it Tennessee? One of these states, they say they're going back to the 1800s with their abortion laws. In his remarks, Lemmerlin insinuated that God punished Maine for enacting LD 1619. That's the number of the bill? The year when slaves were brought to America? Okay. Lemmerlin was referring to the mass shooting. Okay, we know about all this already. Thank you, May Morningstar. But, you know, he's getting a lot of negative commentary. Yeah, negative commentary here. Personally, I like the states kind of working it out, making their own thing happen. And, yeah, duke it out. And I don't know what to say. Obviously, you know what I think about abortion. It's, I just see it as this shirking of responsibility, and it's not what people say it is at all. Safe in effect, no. It's a woman's choice, no. The whole conversation is lies. But you got to leave it up to the states. Leave it up to them. Okay, they'll figure it out. Anyways. Check in super chats here. You could buy me a coffee. buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. If you want to send in any Bond fan fictions to my super chats or on Buy Me a Coffee, you don't have to keep it short, clearly. You can write out a whole fan fiction, but we love it. We do appreciate it. Some people are quite creative. All right, pharisaical. How about we get into this? They're calling her pharisaical. Maybe they're not using that word, but they're not happy. They're not happy. They're saying she's a liar. She's just a slut. She's just an OnlyFans whore. I forget. Is that not daytime anchor baby friendly? The W word. We're talking about Nala. You know her, red-haired. I love cheating. Her biggest fantasy. She went viral back in the day. Now she's a Christian. Now she is baptized. You have to be baptized, and the people have taken sides. The rifts have started. She's really a Christian. She's not a Christian. And I mentioned it the other day. It's kind of a good thing to stop. Barring everything else, just take this as face value. To go from, posting dirty, nasty pictures to not doing that is a positive development, no? Come on. Come on, fellas. But okay, everybody's trying to take a side here. She's being a Christian. She's not. Personally, I would stay out of that conversation. Try not to get into that. Everybody's full of ish. You remember what I was saying? So don't judge. And even thinking about God is just a positive. Like, it could mean nothing. It could be all for show. But that's what I was saying the other day. Now, some of you took it way too far. Some of you have gone nuts. Some of you have gone absolutely nuts. Some of you, men, so-called men, males, are actual Pharisees. You guys say, I love Jesus. You guys are like, I'm a Christian. Some of you even listen to Jesse. You're like, I'm overcoming the woman, Jesse. I forgave my mother. I'm overcoming the woman. So when am I going to get married? What? Okay, you guys, some of you heard me. I don't know. Maybe you guys thought I was defending Nala or something. I was just saying, hey, what do you know about people's hearts? But some of you weren't supposed to react like this. Hold up. Let's zero in on this Twitter profile for 1 second here. This is Cody. He goes by the name Don't Vax Me on Twitter. And he's got a little conversation started, and it looks like it's all fellas in the chat. It's all fellas. It's all males. It's all fellas in the comments here. And they're all agreeing with him. What did he tweet? What did he tweet that they got him, that they're all agreeing on? He says here in this tweet, I think @PearlyThings used to sub to Nala's OnlyFans and is just pissed she isn't getting content anymore. You might not even realize what the heck I'm talking about. You remember her. Red hairs. She's baptized and a Christian now. You know who I'm talking about. Come on.
Is my OnlyFans. I know a lot of you keep saying, oh, it's up, it's up. It is up. I am waiting, and I will show you a screenshot here really fast. I have tried deleting it, okay? It is in the deletion process, but OnlyFans doesn't work like a snap of your fingers. It doesn't just get deleted. So again, I'm gonna show you this screenshot really fast. Okay, so I emailed OnlyFans, and this is what they said to me. The account cannot be deleted immediately as long as there are active paid subscribers. Once you initiate the account removal process, it will no longer be possible to subscribe to your profile or renew existing subscriptions, blah, 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 blah. So this is what it says. You can screenshot it, whatever, but I have absolutely tried my absolute best to get it deleted. I'm trying to move it up the ladder in OnlyFans so that I can just get like completely taken down. So I just wanted to clear that up for you guys because I am trying. No one can subscribe to the page, and everything is completely taken down. There are no posts, no messaging, absolutely nothing is going on the page. So I wanted to clear that up for you guys because I do believe that you guys deserve an answer because yes, it's still up, but you can't do anything with it and no one in there can do anything in there. So praise God for that.
Praise God. That's Nala. You know her. Been going viral. She's baptized. She's a Christian. She's deleting her OnlyFans. Okay, she's getting to it. She showed you the screenshot so all you judgmental people could drop it.
Couple things I want to address is
okay, we heard you. Thank you very much. The quartering here writes, I happen to think leaving whoring is a good thing. Now I've only made it a few pages into the Bible, but I think this is an absolute W, and people should stop trying to drag this woman. Well, right on the quartering. While I agree with that, why are we dragging anyone? I thought you were a man. I thought you said you were a Christian. And if you're a male Christian, that means you're a man. You're telling me you want to drag this woman for what? Lying about being a Christian? Okay, that's a joke. That was a joke. I don't know her heart. I'm messing around. I'm truly messing around. I'm just saying that everybody's full of ish. You guys get that, right? So I get it. The quartering, I get it. But look, this is what I wanted to show you. Where was it? It was this one right here. Oh, where is it? It was that person criticizing Pearly @PearlyThings. Don't vax me. Here it is. Don't vax me, he says. I think PearlyThings used to sub to that woman, Nala's OnlyFans, and is just pissed she isn't getting content anymore. If you don't know, PearlyThings, who was a previous guest on the Jesse Lee Peterson on the Fallen State, has been been going hard, maybe a little bit, criticizing her, doesn't believe her. She's all like, I don't know, you're making $9 million in OnlyFans, and now you're just doing the same thing, but with a Christian flavor. You just still want male attention, blah, blah, blah. That's what she's saying, okay? And then I look at the comments here, and I'm like, fellas, this is not what I meant. Look at this. It's the only thing that explains that level of rage. Truth. And they're all like hens in the chat responding to each other and egging each other on. I think most people who are pissed or who demand that she give away the money or who proclaim that she can't be forgiven are exactly this. They're just former Nala OnlyFans subscribers. They're just mad. Wait. Fellas, why are you guys getting so into this? Why are you defending her so hard? Why do you have to take any position here? I think so too. She's overwhelmingly obsessed. And this is all males in these comments. These are all males. Why are you taking a position? Why are you so convinced she's a Christian? And why are you so convinced that she's not worthy of forgiveness ever? She will never have dignity ever, ever, ever. And fellas, That's such a low bar. She just said she was a Christian and dunked her head in some water. What the heck? People do that every day. Can you not be such a negative Nancy and let her do some journey if she's going to have a journey? And maybe, I don't know, learn about God or whatever. But don't be like a Christian simp. Like, right on. Now she's married. Now she's wife. She's probably wife material now. You think it can happen, fellas? She's reading the Bible now. You think she's a Proverbs 31 woman? I think it can happen. I don't know. I'm just the Christian men have their own. It's still a fantasy. It's this like fantasy. It's this fantasy that you'll have this Christian Proverbs woman. An absolute fantasy. In what are you following me at all, folks? It's like they're either judging her and like want to gatekeep her from I don't know anything Christian, or it's bro, she's an amazing Christian woman, bro. Don't be saying that about her, bro. What the heck? Yeah. She's saying, to Nala in that video, she's like, I'm taking down my OnlyFans. I swear. Don't worry. I'm showing you the proof I really am a Christian. Don't try and answer the world, Nala. Don't try and prove to the world that you're a Christian. You're just going to stay in that forever, and they'll never accept you. They'll never accept you. They don't look any of these men, Christian men who are like, hey, ma'am, excuse me, miss. I'll show you how to be I'll save you from that life. I'll show you Christianity. All these men don't want to help you, Nala, if you're listening. They don't want to help you. They don't want to help you be a better Christian. They have their own fantasy. Okay, don't try and prove to the world that you're a Christian, Nala. She's saying, I promise I'll show you the proof. Because I think you deserve an answer, she said. Why? This person who turned away from OnlyFans and all that, why do you think the world deserves an answer? The nasty world who's taking a side either with you to boost your ego or against you because, I don't know, they're just nasty. They don't believe in Santa Claus. I don't know what to tell you, but Nala, why are you trying to prove yourself to the world? If you really found God, you don't really need to do that. What else? What else about this? Just, maybe Pharisees is on the mind a little bit. Pharisaical. I don't know, folks. I don't know. They say there's a marriage crisis. We'll see if we can get into that, too. We got a couple calls, though. How about we get to Jaime, Minnesota? You're on the air. Appreciate your call.
Hey, Nick.
How you doing, sir?
This Nala situation. You remember a guy? His name was Jesus.
Yeah, I might remember something like that.
They called him Christ, and I want to say that he said, "Don't be like these other people. How they pray. You see how they pray." They hoot and holler and wave their hands and they put ash on their and whatever. Don't be like them, but instead, when you pray in your heart.
Yeah.
So that you'll have a reward up in heaven. These other people, they have their reward here on earth, and that's what that reminds me of.
Talking about this woman reminds you of that?
Yeah, she's getting her reward. She's getting her reward here on
even
earth.
With her apology thing, with her, well, I would have called her Christian change and all that.
That's all. It's the same. It's the same, man. As everybody else. Even that. I don't know if you heard this name before, but Joyce Myers.
Hold up, Joyce.
You ever hear that name?
That sounds so familiar for some reason.
Yeah, she's a preacher woman.
Sounds very familiar for her. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, she's like that, She's like, very showy with her preaching and stuff. And
I
at first look, you can't tell if she's she's serious or not.
Oh, you're talking about
so-
Nala. You know what, to be fair, I have not seen her talk about Christianity at all. And I think it's because I have a little bit of a judgment, a similar thing. I'm just like, she's probably talking about it like any, and I haven't seen her talk about it at all, so that's a judgment. But that's kind of what I assumed. So I didn't really expect anything or you know what I'm saying here? Like I didn't, I wasn't so let down. Like, this is what every Christian sounds like. So I'm not that surprised or like that's big of a deal.
Yeah.
I found it interesting all the people getting. I like pointing out the subplot because that one's obvious. You know.
Yeah, I'm not trying to judge her heart or anything. I don't really know, but from the looks of it, and kind of knowing myself, what I was like in the past.
Yes.
It's a front, and maybe she's thinking, maybe she can make more money this way, and keep her clothes on.
She said that, didn't she? Didn't she say that in that Michael Knowles interview? She said she just makes money by talking about God now.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't. I don't know. That'd be a judgment if I didn't, trust what she said about God. Well, I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, it's like just.
But I'm not going to pay her.
It's just as likely, I guess. If you wanted to ask that question, sure, I guess you could say that's a maybe. If you really want it, that might even be evil, though. It's like, who cares?
Yeah, it is a bad look.
It's like everybody who's trying to prove that they are Christian is pharisaical and just like Nala. And and that a red-haired woman that was once an OnlyFans person turned Christian gets famous is not. It's like that makes so much sense. The world would love a story like that.
Yeah, but the point is that if you're asking about her sincerity.
I'm not asking
maybe
about her
that's
sincerity.
one of the kind of like the in between the lines. I'm kind of listening from you. One of the in between the lines questions you might be asking.
No,
But
not truly. I'm not really asking.
Well,
I really don't know
let me
how to
answer
tell.
that question anyways, because
go ahead.
The sincerity you can tell, because if she was truly sincere, it wouldn't be out in the public. Because, like you said, who cares? Why does anybody else care? But because she's so insincere about it and wants it to be public like this, it's not sincere, and she should just be ignored.
Fair enough.
But I was also thinking, why would she want to, go for Christianity? And maybe those analytics.
I just think it's both just as likely. It's like she has a new grift and wants to make money that way, or she's like everybody who becomes Christian and thinks I got to spread the word now. And it's like you know what I mean. If you see it like that, you see that she may be going through what. I've met so many people who become Christians and do that. Literally everybody I know who becomes a Christian does that and starts preaching. She just has the reputation and the online presence to, it becomes another viral thing. Anyways, go ahead. Go ahead. What do you want to say about this?
Let me hit you with this theory. Maybe the OnlyFans platform has analytics that showed her that most of her subscribers are, Christian males, and then if she gets into the Christianity, she can get the Christian females, because everybody knows Christian females, they love listening to a female preach. They love it.
Maybe.
And now
I feel like Christian females would judge her harder than.
No, man.
I feel like Christian females would judge this Nala. Like maybe if she was like.
Well,
maybe if she was frumpy looking, if she was like frumpy looking and didn't have if she was like grandma looking and didn't have like a OF past, Christian women would be all over her. But because she's got a more like hot girl look and came from that, no, I think the Christian women would judge her harder than the men.
You're forgetting, Nick, that Christianity is full of feminists now.
Yeah, and they don't like women
feminists
like that.
Love looking beautiful. They love putting on makeup and doing all this.
I thought they were the pink-haired, frumpy ones.
That too.
Right on, Jaime.
And I'm not saying that it isn't risky. She's making a risky move, yes. I agree with you there. But she's got did you say she has $9 million?
That's what she said.
She can afford to take a few risks, you know? And the bigger the risk, the bigger the payoff, you know? I'm just saying that's my theory.
I got you, Jaime. Right on, sir.
So,
well, call me again. Anything else?
but
Last thing you want to say?
Don't you worry about her because she's got her reward here on earth. She ain't going to get one up in heaven.
Appreciate your call, Jaime. Call me again.
Bye.
Yeah. How you know? James, New York, you're on the air.
Hello?
How you doing, sir? James.
Hey, how you doing, Nick?
All as well.
I had some thoughts about abortion, but just to touch on what Jaime was talking about with the Nala girl, I think one reason why she probably went to Christianity is because, like, I've noticed that Christians are very forgiving and have a lot of can be very tolerant towards, you know, people trying to return to the Father, opposed to, you know, like Islam or Judaism, where like something like that like those religions I don't think would open, like let someone with a past like that take them in openly like Christianity would. So I feel like sometimes people take advantage of Christianity because of how, you know, I guess like tolerant and forgiving it can be, no matter like who you were or what you did in your life. Does that kind of make sense?
I mean, it makes sense as a possibility in the world of possibilities. Is there someone you have in mind that is abusing Christianity in the way that you described?
Well, like you guys were saying, like she openly was talking on an interview that she's, you know, doing it for to get like Christian, you know, to talk about God because it gets her views or whatever, or something like that.
No, that's not what she said. She was asked about how she makes money now that she's not making money with the OnlyFans. She just said that she's making money she's making money talking about God.
More research on that then.
It's no problem.
But I'm sure there are people like people who take advantage of religions, you know, for money and stuff like that. So maybe that's another way.
You think that's what Nala's doing, or you think that's just a possibility?
Honestly, I'm just indifferent to it. I'm just looking at it from that standpoint because of the conversation you guys were having. So that was just what I was thinking there. But besides that, for what I was originally calling about, for what you were talking about was abortion. Like me in particular, when I think about like when life starts, I think anytime you have to intervene to you know, stop something from happening, like you're already admitting that thing is alive, and if you don't do anything, it will become something. So like I think life starts at conception or whatever, the baby is you know, conceived. Mm-hmm. And then I think the only thing that should have any, you know, power, whether that baby comes into the world or not, is if that baby is strong enough to survive the womb and to, you know, be birthed of its own accord. If that, you know, if you understand what I'm saying there, like I think
like that's your.
It's solely up to the baby's survival that it should come into this world or not. You know, it shouldn't be up to the states or the doctor. But I'm not saying like, oh, it shouldn't be up to any states. Like, you know, people are going to make laws. Things are going to happen. I'm just saying from like a moral standpoint about it. You know.
I gotcha. Yeah, that's why you disagree with abortion. It shouldn't. Right. The ability to choose that life shouldn't be up to someone else. It should just be natural. Mm-hmm. If that baby is to survive, it should just survive.
Yeah, it should be up to the baby. I know that sounds weird.
I'm following you. What do you think about Trump and his stance? What he said recently about abortion and leaving it up to the states?
Well, I only say leave it up to the states because I'm powerless in that fact.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So like of course, like, I can say whatever I want about it,
Yes.
but I am powerless, and I understand I'm powerless to it. So that's why I say leave it up to the states, because ultimately that's who's going to be in charge of it anyhow.
Truly.
Yeah, and for also like the moral qualm I see that women and men have with abortion, I feel like a lot of the time when women do want to have an abortion, it's not like the high end of the spectrum where like, oh, like rape or incest or anything like that. A lot of the time I feel like they feel like they maybe had sex with a low value person. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they're either trying to save themselves from having to be stuck with a low value person that they got pregnant by, because like I've never heard of a case where, like a girl, let's say, got pregnant by Elon Musk and was like, oh, take this baby out of me, or let's say some very philanthropist, super rich guy or famous person, wealthy, can take care of them. No one wants to kill those babies. It's not about their body. They will fight to keep that baby. You know
Big
what I'm
time.
saying? Yeah, even I've heard of cases where they would hold on to the condoms and inseminate themselves afterwards, where they try and get guys to clearly there is a reason why they would do that, because that is a life. That is that is a living organism.
Women are evil.
Yeah. Some of them can be.
It's true. Look, what you're speaking to is the disproportionate, or not disproportionate, but just the who are the winners of the society who get in their way. It's the women. They're really the ones. Look, because I'm hearing things that they're even coming from Christians. Men, you guys got to man up. You got to man up and you got to marry. You got to get married, man. What are you doing? Grow up and get married. Don't be like a red pill guy. Don't be. And I'm hearing this, and it's all this admonishment of men that they got to grow up and stop playing video games. And that may be true, but what you're speaking to is the who's really holding the keys here in a sense. It seems like women have been given all the keys here, and what they've decided to do with it, is not have children, and kill them if they don't want to have it, if they don't like them.
And I understand, like, because of the point we are in this modern age society, like there's a safe way to do abortion. And I think that's another reason why women are so, fine with it. Because, if you got like an abortion in medieval times, you were most likely probably going to die from that abortion.
Like from the trauma it left.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, like, another reason why I'm particularly wary of like abortions is because let's say you do get an abortion, and let's say society just crumbles somehow. If you get pregnant in the future, there are cases where women can't have natural childbirth after having an abortion because they damaged their uterus or they've damaged their cervix. And what happens to that woman now? Let's just say we remove the doctors. That's a death sentence for you and your future child if you want any kind of thing like that. So it's kind of a conundrum, and I get it. But the last thing I'll say is with I think the blame should be more on the practitioners of the abortion. Like women will share it, but like technically they're just present during, I guess you can say, the murder.
Mm-hmm.
I think doctors should be held accountable for the abortion, and if doctors were held accountable, we would have a better understanding of why that doctor did the abortion. Because if the doctor's just doing abortion so he can make a quota and get, money, subsidized money from the state, I think that's personally wrong. But let's say if a woman
there's doctors who just think it's a medical. They just think but there's doctors who just see it as removing a kidney. It's just a medical procedure and it's a woman's choice. I mean, that's just not true.
Exactly.
I mean, doctors are all into it. There's doctors who are ideologically into it and all that too, so it's just not true.
Yeah, exactly. And if these doctors could be held accountable for their action, they would probably be a little more wary in which procedures that they take on. Because, again, I've heard you guys talk, it's one thing if the woman is, if they have an ectopic pregnancy, or it's going to kill the woman because there's something wrong with the baby, then yes, save the life. And I think that's the only, even then, I'm like, I don't know, I don't know if we should be even killing babies to save a woman's life, I get it, but geez, that seems crazy too. But if that's the case, then at least the doctor has kind of a just reason for committing the abortion, opposed to just, hey, did you go out on the weekend? You don't want to deal with this anymore? Come over to me,
What a mess. Yeah, I'm not too sure either on that. That one came up on my show the other day, and I don't know what I do. Don't want to be faced with it. Man, James, is there something else last thing you want to say before we move the wheels here?
No, I just have a blessed day, buddy, okay?
Right on. Hey, call me again, sir.
Yes, sir. Be safe.
Thank you. 888-775-3773. Are you down with abortion? Something people say. Are you down with abortion? I don't know what to tell you. They're gonna abortion, okay? They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. If you make it illegal, I guess, yeah, doctors will think twice. Of course. If you make it illegal, doctors will think twice. I think that is a reasonable assumption of what might happen should you make abortion illegal. It's not a popular topic. It's not a winning topic there for Republicans. I mentioned this the other day. It's not a winning topic. And it's because of women, so-called Christian Republican women, who will vote against a Republican should he or she dare to even to challenge this notion. A woman's choice. A woman's choice, they say. But what else? What else? Who's holding the keys? What did I say? I was saying they're holding the keys a little bit. The women are. Harvard Business, some people believe that. The female economy. These figures, according to, where is it? According to Harvard Business Review, figures that show the U.S. economy is centered around service and information, both of which are female-dominated. But whatever. Bestcolleges.com. Women, more women go to college and graduate school than men. But whatever. Male wages are in decline. Axios. They're not working. What's going on with the men? More men than women report zero dating prospects. So the New York Post. So the women got the college, they got the degrees, they're dominating in the information and service sectors, which dominate our economy. They earn more. Who's at fault for the marriage crisis? Hold on. Obviously men. But the people who are blaming men have it for the wrong reasons. They'll blame them. It's like women. Women, they'll learn about this marriage crisis, so to speak. And they'll be like, it's because men are watching porn, or it's because they're playing video games, or it's because... Look, if there's no one worth it, if there's no one worth marrying, honestly, a little bit of video games to pass the time. It's like, what else are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, what you're supposed to give that up now because you need to man up and marry one of these women. What? Marry who? Marry one of these abortion women? One of these women who... You following me here at all? Anyways. Josh Hawley. Do you know who that is? Wait, hold on. Not Josh Hawley. Who am I looking for? Oh, yes. Josh Hawley. You know who Josh Hawley is? Senator? Or is he a senator? Yes, United States Senator. From Missouri. A seat he has held since 2019. He has strong words for the men. Man up! Senator Josh Hawley telling young men to man up. You gotta man up. And, get off your computer and meet a girl, he says. This was like in 2022. I'm just commenting on some of these prescriptions that people have for the young men. You need to get off your computer, man. Stop playing those video games and meet a girl. Meet who? No, just work on yourself. Just work on yourself. Because this comes a lot from the Christians and the conservatives. You become a Christian and you're like, now it's time to get married. You're not thinking. Marry who? The Christian women and men, sure, but we're talking about women. The Christian women are full of it. The secular women are full of it. Like, okay. Anyways, where were we? 888-775-3773. Yeah, work on yourself. Get a job. And do little things and work step by step. I think you will see. I sincerely think you'll see. You'll see when you need to get married and all that. Okay? Nick meets girls in VR all the time. Okay, yeah, go meet them. That might not be bad advice. I guess I maybe assumed what Josh Hawley was saying. Yeah, I guess meet them. But, yeah, meet them and then see what a mess it all is. Where were we? What shall we do? Again, folks, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss tomorrow's flight. You don't want to miss your flight. Okay, many already have first class tickets. It's going to be a good show. So hit the notification bell so you know when we go live tomorrow, 4 p.m.-ish. Because, it's a whole process. You got to get the plane going, get up in the air. It's a whole thing. Right on. VR. VR pimp, Nick. No, they're just... Stop, Tar Baby Yoda. Yeah, go out there. Get out there. But, like, I've never been like that. I've been more like a shy person, but I just, when I hear get out there, I hear, like, date. Like, go out and, like, date. Like, you could do that with just talking to people. You know that, right? You know that I just go out into VR and I'm just talking with people, right? You guys get that, right? They're like children, first of all. Not always, but they're in their virtual, like, anime stuff. They're like cartoon characters, okay? To be fair, there's sometimes pretty S-wordual cartoon characters in the VR world. Maybe with all these first-class super chatters, maybe we need to get into the VR world this weekend. There's people, every time it comes up, people really want to see that. Maybe we got to give the people what they want. Right on. Dating is fun. Yeah, I'm not saying don't date. Let's move on here, okay? Let's move on here. J.K. Rowling is on my mind a little bit here. You might find this interesting. I think we can end the show with this. This little story. A little bit of news and a little bit of story is how we'll end the show here. J.K. Rowling, she tweeted, "I hope every woman in Scotland who wishes to speak up for the reality and importance of biological sex will be reassured by this announcement. And I trust that all women, irrespective of profile or financial means, will be treated equally under the law." J.K. Rowling. With a tweet, you know her as the author of those witchcraft books. That's for the Christians in the chat who were told Harry Potter was witchcraft. Were you told Harry Potter was witchcraft? Bill? My mom told me that. She told me Pokemon was witchcraft too. So when I was listening to the Pokemon soundtrack, I did it in secrecy. I'm too old. Harry Potter too? Oh, true. I see. That's funny. Bill said that was for a different generation, Harry Potter and Pokemon. So his parents wouldn't have called that witchcraft. Silly. What is J.K. Rowling responding to? What is this cryptic message about? It's about a hate law. It's about hate law stuff in Scotland. J.K. Rowling hate law posts not criminal. Police say. She posted this from the BBC. Social media comments made by J.K. Rowling challenging Scotland's new hate crime law are not being treated as criminal, police in Scotland has said. The Harry Potter author described several transgender women as men, including convicted prisoners, trans activists, and other public figures. The new law creates a new crime of stirring up hatred relating to protected characteristics. Imagine that. So it's a new law in Scotland. You get it. J.K. Rowling criticized it, went against it, calling men who call themselves transgender men, which would be a hate crime. She is safe, though. What is the law? The Hate Crime and Public Order Act makes it an offense to behave in a threatening or abusive manner with the intention of stirring up hatred based on disability, religion, sexual orientation, transgender identity, or being intersex. Isn't it funny about these so-called hate laws? It really is. I always read these, and it always represents to me like Satan's perverted love. You know, because it is wrong to stir up hatred based on those things. It's like imagine if I was going around yelling Christ is King, but in my heart I'm yelling that because I just want to stir things up. I just want to be my Christ is King side, and I just want to stir something up, and I just want to be like, my side is better than your side, Christ is King. That would be wrong. That would be coming at it from the wrong spirit. And it's so funny how these hate crime laws, it's like mama they take something that is true and pervert it, and they make it into a law. They single out some over others, as if transgenders needed protection, when hate is everywhere. The so-called oppressors of society, the white people, get hated on every day. It's the most normal thing to do. So it really is such a perversion of that. It's wrong to stir this up, but these people don't care about transgender people. And these people singling out this so-called hatred shows they have a very shallow understanding of hatred. So that's the law in Scotland. J.K. Rowling is apparently safe. Always a funny thing to think about J.K. here. She's been a TERF, they call her. Trans exclusionary radical feminist. She's a feminist. Don't get me wrong. I'm a feminist. I'm with the women. The patriarchy's got to go down. But whoa. On the transgender stuff, yeah, calm down. Those aren't women. That's what a turf is. It's always a funny thing to think about JK. And although I stand with JK, I say that sarcastically. Although I stand with her in her stance on biological sex, obviously any rational person would. I can't help but comment on how. Do you think you maybe have created a monster you couldn't control here, feminists? Obviously, I'm not saying anything new, but it's always a humorous thing to point out. You started something you can't control. Police in Scotland can't cope. This is from Breitbart. Police in Scotland can't cope with flood of hate speech reports as 8,000 flood during first week of draconian new law. So you make the law, and it gets flooded with all these reports. I gotta say, I bet you that's overblown reports. He said he dead named me. Like, that's a matter that police need to deal with. How ridiculous. Law enforcement in Scotland have claimed that it can't cope with the staggering number of reports flooding in. The controversial hate crime and public order came into force last Monday, criminalizing the opaquely worded stirring up hatred towards protected groups. According to initial estimates, police in Scotland received around 8,000 complaints. So that's how it's going. A monster you can't control. This is what anger does. And so here's a little story to finish off the show. The story of the Golem of Prague. You ever heard of, you know what a golem is? Golem? Not the character in Lord of the Rings, but according to Wikipedia, anthropomorphic being in Jewish folklore. And in this Wikipedia article, they write about a famous golem narrative in like Jewish writings about the Golem of Prague, okay? And this is a story of this rabbi. The Jews of Prague went to their rabbi, Judah, Loa ben Bezalel, the wise, and they said, "The Christians are stronger and more numerous than us. Surely if they become wrathful, they shall destroy us. What can we do?" "Do not make them wrathful," said the rabbi. "Deal fairly with them and treat them with respect as you would all God's creations." Right. But the Jews were fearful, and they imprecated the rabbi with great lamentations. So he created a great statue of a mighty giant from clay and inscribed it with mystic and secret words from the Kabbalah. And into its hollow head he inserted a clay tablet containing 99 sacred names of God. And the statue came to life and did mighty work for the Jews, serving them with labor, putting fear into the Christians that they might not dare harm the Jews or offend them. Yet man's works are not God's works, and the golem was made far from perfect. It became harder and harder to control until it rampaged through the streets, destroying Christian and Jew alike. "Save us," the Jews of Prague cried to the rabbi. "Have you not learned?" asked the rabbi. "A wise man does not loose a mad dog in the streets, hoping it will bite the neighbor he has quarreled with." Interesting. But Judah relented and blotted the letter life from the golem's forehead, and the golem was still. I mean, this is a story. This is from Wikipedia. This is a narrative, I guess, coming out of Jewish tradition. Isn't that interesting? Have you not learned? If you loose a mad dog in the streets, a wise man does not loose a mad dog in the streets, hoping it will bite the neighbor. This is a story where the rabbi is saying, hey, don't treat the Christians like that. Just came across it. Isn't that interesting? J.K. Rowling and really the world at large. Come on, folks. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the show. Yeah, I'm calling BS. Right on, Kevin. What's up, Kevin Howe? Always a pleasure. Frankenstein ripoff. Yeah, it might be. But hey, Kevin Howe, appreciate it. Look, that's the show, folks. American Anchor, baby. Hope you join me tomorrow for another show. Because we're taking a flight. Don't miss it. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. 4 p.m. That's after Open Line Friday with Jesse. Another Hake Report with James. The Fallen State at noon. And the Anchor Baby at 4. Always a pleasure, folks. Catch you tomorrow. Is that it? Is that everything? Wait, I don't want to be too hasty. Chris, I appreciate your super chat. He says 1 first class ticket, please. You should purchase it tomorrow because yesterday was the Ballers Lounge Bonanza. But you know what? I'll write it down, Chris. Don't worry. You're in first class for tomorrow. Anybody else who does super chat will be first class tomorrow. Appreciate that. Carver says, Guy wrote that policy wearing a big purple hat. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And that's all for now. All right, y'all. Take care. See you tomorrow. Peace.